Good morning, everyone. Here's your Eastern Idaho weather and planning briefing for Monday, January 25th. We've got quite a bit going on. We have some fog and flurries, some stratus around today, especially over the Snake Plain and over into the eastern highlands this morning. The fog and flurries, that's probably a morning thing. It might linger a little bit in the afternoon hours. As we go into tonight and tomorrow, a little bit of patchy light snow increases as the moisture starts to increase across the area. And then heading into tomorrow night, all the way through Friday, we have a multiple-day snow event, and that's really going to target areas from the Wood River Valley all the way up to Island Park with upslope conditions. Other areas not seeing a lot of snow, and some areas are going to see some downslope conditions. We'll dive into that a little bit here in just a moment. Now, where we're going to see the heavier snow, confidence is high on those locations. Confidence is lower on how much snow is going to fall, and that's dependent on a big factor that is well out in the Pacific right now. Other locations, confidence on how much snow is going to fall, exactly where it's going to fall, that's low as well at this point. You'll notice we have a splitting low, a splitting trough moving ashore, and the little bit of moisture you see off to the south and to the west, that's going to creep into the picture as we go into tonight and tomorrow. That's why the snow is going to be patchy. You notice it's not really organized. Now, you see this huge stream of moisture, this fire hose coming across the Pacific. That's going to be moving in here for the middle and end of the week. The big question is this. It's going to dump a lot of snow. We're talking several feet of snow across the Sierras. That southwest flow coming across, it's all going to depend on how much moisture is left as it moves across the Sierras and dumps all that snow. A lot of times we don't get a really good idea until this storm gets a little bit closer to unfolding. So we're going to show you some snow amounts, but expect those to change in terms of how much and maybe some locations on where the heavier snow is going to fall. Just a little bit on the locations. The amounts are definitely a lot more uncertain at this point. And you'll notice on the next couple of days we don't have really any impacts on going on, but that's when Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame is when we start to see them. In the lower elevations, especially in the downslope areas of the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley, that's along the 84-86 corridor all the way up towards Rexburg. Some of this is also going to be an issue in the Teton Valley with the strong south winds in the downslope. The downslope, at least in the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, that actually is going to produce warm enough temperatures that we might see a rain-snow mix even as we go into Thursday morning and Friday morning across those areas. Something to keep an eye on. But you'll notice where the bulk of the snow is going to fall. In that eastern highland areas, Island Park, especially Island Park, Monida Pass. Once you get over towards Mackey, that area, upslope areas along the central mountains there, I guess you'd say the northern and western ends of the Magic Valley and the Snake Plain, the lava bed areas, that's where things really get cranking. We've highlighted that with high impact simply because this is a very conducive pattern for heavier snow in those areas, and sometimes the models, even when they dump a lot of moisture in there, could be a little off just a little bit more snow, especially with the wind. We've got some blowing and drifting snow and some avalanche concerns in those areas as well. And that trend is for Wednesday and Thursday. That's when the bulk of the snow is going to fall in those, especially in those areas. We start to see things tapering off a little bit on Friday. Now, that little bit of patchy moisture going on, any real accumulation is going to be across the South Hills down towards Malad Summit. We could see, and we have seen a few flurries up across portions of the Snake Plain into the Teton Valley, Island Park area. Not much in accumulation is expected there, just a little bit of, visual on that snow and flurry activity falling. For tomorrow, again, not much snow expected, maybe just dusting in some of the mountainous areas tomorrow night. This is where you can kind of see that pattern starting to take shape. Upslope areas, that southerly southwest flow, Haley, Sun Valley, over towards Craters, Mackey, Arco, up towards Lone Pine, then up towards Spencer, Island Park as well. Now, this is a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday total. Like I said, this is probably going to change in terms of the amounts, but you'll see where the heavier amounts are highlighted. That general idea is likely going to stay exactly where it is or just shift just a little bit. But some of these areas, 1 or more feet of snow, maybe 2 feet of snow if things hold together across the Wood River Valley, the surrounding mountains. Once you get up towards Stanley, that southwesterly flow really isn't conducive for a lot of snow in that area. So we'll have to watch to see just how much makes it up into the Sawtooth and the Stanley Basin. Also, you can see here along the I-80-46 corridor. There's not a lot of snow there, and that's that downslope taking shape. And those winds are going to be pretty gusty throughout this storm event. And you can see with the upslope again, snow falling around Island Park. The Teton Valley is going to be shadowed with some decent south winds coming in across the Driggs area and up towards Teutonia as well. Temperatures for today, we're going to see at or just above freezing across portions of the Magic Valley, the lower Snake Plain down into the South Hills as well, also around Malad City. Colder temperatures elsewhere, staying in the 20s this afternoon. Temperatures for tonight, chilly once again across the board, single digits and teens in many areas. Once you get in the Magic Valley, that down valley wind keeping temperatures just a bit warmer into the low to mid-20s. For tomorrow afternoon, not much movement in the temperatures, maybe just a slight bit of a warm-up elsewhere still, at or just above freezing from Pocatello towards Twin Falls, down south towards the Utah border. Wednesday morning, temperatures start warming up. You can see the gusty winds cranking those temperatures up across the 80-46 corridor. We're going to be close to freezing Wednesday morning. Pocatello westward, maybe about 28 to 32 degrees. Still remaining chilly elsewhere, but the temperatures are starting to come up with the cloud cover moving in. Here's those winds Wednesday morning as well, especially those downslope areas. We're talking some wind gusts around 20 to 30, maybe a little bit higher in some places. Elsewhere, gusty winds mainly in the higher elevations during that particular period, but you can see them start picking up during the day on Wednesday. The downslope areas seeing some gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. Also strong upslope into the Wood River Valley on up towards Island Park. Some of these areas, especially once you get off the valley floors, 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts. That's going to be creating some blowing and drifting snow conditions, especially once you get off the valley floors. And you can see those temperatures warming up. Wednesday, we're talking Burley, Twin Falls in the low 40s, near 40 in Pocatello, pushing to the mid-30s up towards Rexburg and Idaho Falls. And those warmer temperatures, that's where we're going to get that rain-snow mix. Once you get up towards Rexburg and Idaho Falls, it's going to be mainly wet snow falling. Elsewhere, temperatures pretty conducive for some good snowfall, especially in the upslope areas we've been talking about. Those winds still gusty, but winding down just ever so slightly still. That's enough for some downslope conditions across the interstate corridor, upslope, and blowing and drifting snow in other locations as well. Temperatures Thursday morning. Look at this. It's not dropping much from Wednesday afternoon to Thursday morning along the interstate corridor. Temperatures right around 30 to 35 degrees, maybe a few spots around 35 to 38 degrees where we have those good south winds. That's why those areas aren't going to see a lot of precipitation. It may be fairly dry by the time we get all said and done in those areas. Winds still pretty gusty, but dropping off Thursday. A little bit warmer across the board, probably about 2 to 4 degrees warmer across pretty much all of central and eastern Idaho. But the winds on Friday starting to die down. Still pretty warm Friday morning in a lot of areas. Wind gusts again Friday starting to wind down, but they're still there. So as those winds die down, the blowing and drifting snow threat does come to an end, or at least gradual end up in the mountains as well. And temperatures not dropping off much from Thursday to Friday. So once again, not much going on, just a little bit of minor impact weather coming, but we've got a big potential event coming for Wednesday through Friday. Again, if you live in the Wood River Valley, Sun Valley, Haley, those areas, on up towards Arco, Mackey, Lone Pine, up towards Spencer, up into the Island Park area, some folks could get a lot of snow Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday over that 2 to 3 day period. If you have any questions, give us a call. Otherwise, have a great day and stay safe out there, everyone.